I know that you and I love a concept, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong because I pronounce it differently every single time I say it. But Ikigai, how do you pronounce it?
Ikigai. Well, I say Ikigai, but it's a Japanese concept. So goodness knows how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm sure it's not.
probably not the way I've said it, but I'm going for it.
Or me. But actually, I'm glad you asked that question because when we were talking about people's sense of identity and retirement, it struck me. I thought actually this is a really important concept. It comes from the Japanese island of Okinawa, and it was observed that a lot of people living there lived very long lives. Lots of people lived to 100. And so people were curious and to say, well, what have they got? What makes them live that long? And what they discovered is that they all had something that gave them meaning and purpose. So something that got them out of bed in the morning, something that gave them joy in their lives. It could be a hobby, it could be a relationship. Being the age they were probably wasn't going to be work, although it can apply to work as well. But that was the thing that enabled them to age healthily.
Yeah, and it's encapsulated really well, Hilary, in an image, isn't it? It's as. Can you explain the image to me? It's sort of a Venn diagram, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But not.
This is very familiar because we use this a lot in our retreats. I think somebody in the West has taken the concept and kind of, as we do in the West, made it into a nice little model. But it's 4 overlapping circles. Yeah. And the one at the top is, what do you love? So, what are your hobbies? What are the things you keep going back to? The things that bring you joy. The one on the left-hand side is, what are you good at?
Yeah.
So, you can look back at times in your life when you were performing really well, everything was really successful. What was it that you were demonstrating at the time? What strengths were you demonstrating at the time? And then on the opposite side, on the right-hand side, is what does the world need? Which I translate also into what really matters to you. Because sometimes people think when you say, what does the world need? They need to go off and work for a charity or something, which is not what it's about. But, it's about, so, I come across people who are starting businesses selling, yet another energy drink. And you think, does the world need another energy drink? And then at the bottom.
The way that I always think about that you might have a different opinion on this. And it's something we think about a lot in Cervello. How much does what we do add value to people's lives?
Yes.
Is the way that we think about it, and how do we improve our business to make sure we do more of that?
Exactly. And then the last circle at the bottom is, how can I get paid? Now, that isn't part of the original concept, but I think it's useful because I think there are a lot of people, sometimes kind of the top 3 circles can be a bit of a fantasy. I'd love to do this. I'm really good at that. I could spend all my time surfing, but actually, there's a reality. So I think that's kind of where the head bit comes in. Other bits are our heart. The how can I get paid is a kind of, the rubber hits the road.
And I suppose you could argue, and this is the interesting thing, that financial well-being is all about making sure you've got enough money to live the life you want.
Yes.
And if you're getting paid to do what you love, you could do it forever.
Absolutely.